it's Jessica from Peace Out Books, and today I'm here with a really exciting video where I am reacting to your favorite books of the year so far in a tier ranking style. So I have 6 tiers and I'm really excited for this because there's a lot of books on here that I either agree with and like, yes, they're absolute favorites, or ones that I'm so interested in reading. There are some though that are not exactly on my radar, or ones that I want to pick up, or ones that I've enjoyed. So we have a huge wide range. I have over 50 books to talk about, so we're going to get through it. So we have Absolutely Yes. These are books I absolutely loved. They're on my top as well. Yes, like that's it. I agree with it. They're the best of the year. Then we have a solid read. This means I really enjoyed it. Would it be a favorite? Not necessarily, but if you loved it, great. Good read for me. The next one's Agree to Disagree. I read it. It wasn't a favorite. And we'll go from there. And then we have Top of My TBR. So these are ones for books I haven't read yet. Top of My TBR. I'm interested, not necessarily excited, but I want to read it. And then the last one is No Thank You. I'm not going to read it. So I'm very excited. I'm going to go ahead and get to it. So let me get to screen recording. This always makes me nervous. And I think, yes, okay. I always forget how to screen record until I do one of these videos because this is like the only time I ever screen record. So we are going to start recording. Okay, so I'm very excited for all of these, and we're just gonna go get into it. So the first one is Binding 13. I actually just read this book and we're going absolutely yes. I gave this 5 stars. I absolutely love it. I read it actually because it was everyone's favorite of last year. So I love that people are still reading this book. 100% agree. We have From the Embers by Ali Martinez. This one's going at the top of my TBR. This one I'm very excited to read. It is angsty. I believe both of their spouses died in a fire, and I think that he saved her thinking it was his wife, and they have to raise their kids together. So sounds very angsty. I need to get to it. I actually own it. I bought it at Polycon last year, so it's been a while. Then we have a Stacy Reid. I think it's when the Earl met his match. I'm gonna put this one in interested. This is not my favorite series by Stacy Reid. I've read at least one in this series and it was fine, but I have a different Stacy Reid that I'm like dying to read. So this one is gonna go there. Not sure too much about it, but it's there. We have One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. I'm gonna put this one under solid read. This one was a really great sapphic romance. It had some like time travel kind of elements to it, which I really liked, and I think it was New York because it was on a subway in New York. I enjoyed it. Like I said, it was a solid read. Not an all-time favorite, but solid read. We have Still Beating. You guys know this was on my top of the year last year. 100% absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. They're kidnapped together. It's her sister's fiance. Need I say more with the angst? The Love Hypothesis by Ellie Hazelwood. After reading it, like I really loved it when I read it, what, 2 years ago now? I'm just gonna put it in solid read. It's a very solid romance. Is it like the most amazing romance ever? I like the quirkiness of it. I like the women in STEM, but I wouldn't call it an absolute favorite. So this one's gonna go in solid read. Then we have The Frontrunner by Elsie Silver. I am putting this under top of my TBR. I read one of them. I read a photo finish, I think, by her and loved it. So I am definitely gonna get to the Gold Rush Ranch series soon. Top of my TBR. Another one that I own, just like the Gold Rush Ranch series, is gonna be A Deal with the Devil. This whole series I own by Elizabeth O'Rourke. I read Parallel and Lakey Olivia last year. Absolutely love them. So the rest of her backlist is at the top of my TBR. I feel like a lot of these are going to be at the top of my TBR. A lot of these I actually have not read though, which is a little embarrassing, but that's okay. We have The Undertaking of Heart and Mercy. This one I'm interested in. I actually bought this when I was at Joseph Beth. I think over the summer maybe. It's been a while. And this one I think has like some magical elements to it. I think they're undertakers. That's all I know, but the cover was cute and I never knew it was a romance, so that's why I was excited. Don't You Dare by C.E. Ricky. I'm gonna put that in interested. I am really excited to read more of C.E. Ricky. I'm reading Iced Out right now, and they primarily write MM, I think. So I'm pretty sure they're all really emotional. This isn't the top of my TBR from this specific author, that's why it's going in interested, but the author herself is at the top of my TBR. King of the Court, you guys know, was actually in my top 10 of last year. I'm so excited more people are reading this one. It is a very angsty basketball romance. It is R.S. Gray, who normally writes rom-coms, but this one was so good. There's a time jump in here too. It's like right person, wrong time. Everything I love in a book was in this book. Yes. The Ritual by Chantal Tessier is gonna go in interested because it scares me. I don't know if I'll like it. It is a college romance. It is dark. I don't know if it's bully, but those like tropes don't all make me excited. So I'm gonna put it in interested. Some of my friends are gonna be annoyed, but for this particular book, what, Kiss and Don't Tell by Megan Quinn. No, thank you. I don't know. I don't know what I want to read about Megan Quinn. I think I'm going to do a vlog where I try 3 of her books that are like the highly recommended of them. I don't think this one is, so it's going to go down there. I'm not a rom-com fan. I don't read a lot of rom-coms. I haven't loved a lot that I read by Megan Quinn, so it's going down there. Mercy's top of my TBR. Every Sarah Kate book is at the top of my TBR. I love Sarah Kate. I love the series. I just haven't gotten to this one yet. I've only read 2. I've read Praise and Give Me More. Loved them. Gave both 5 stars. This one's at the top of my TBR. This is an older woman, I think, so I also own all of the books in this series. The Society of Very Irregular Witches, I think that's what this is called. Like, this is not at the top of my TBR. I think the only reason I would read this book is if it's on a list, and I did like a list video. I think it was on one of the Goodreads Choice Awards lists. I just, like, it's not calling to me. I think it's a witch romance, but it's traditionally published. I don't read a lot of paranormal anyways, and if I did, I wouldn't reach for this one, so that's why that's there. This one I think is one of the only ones that's gonna go in this category, but for Consider Me by Mecca Mac, we're gonna agree to disagree. I gave this one 2 stars. It just was not for me. It was way too long, and I didn't care really about the characters, so I didn't love it, but I know tons of people love this book. Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score, I'm going to give solid read. I did like that one. I don't necessarily think it's as good as like the hype is. It was a good fun time. It was Grumpy Sunshine. It was also very long. I didn't think it needed to be as long, but Lucy Score is definitely someone I want to explore more of her backlist from. Bittersweet Memories by Katerina Mora. Absolutely yes. 5 stars. Love this one. Amnesia Romance. Katerina Mora is one of my new favorite authors, so of course. Before I Let Go. Also, absolutely yes. I feel like this category is going to be the biggest one because Before I Let Go is a second chance divorce couple romance. So good. Like, so good. Kennedy Ryan deserves all the praise. Between Hello and Goodbye, I feel bad because like the solid reads are all 4 and 5 stars. In here, Between Hello and Goodbye, I gave 3.5 stars. So I'm putting it in agree to disagree because I don't think it's the best of the year. Not even close for me. This one just was disappointing. I was a little bit bored by the story, and the characters frustrated me because they just would not communicate, and they were trying a long distance relationship. And I'm like, what is the end goal here? We're refusing to acknowledge that. So I was a little bit frustrated with this book, so I'm gonna put it there. Brutal Obsession, I'm gonna put under interested. I've seen it around, but I'm not like dying to read it. This is an author, I think it's S.M. Massery maybe? An author that's on my TBR. Like, I'm interested and I'm intrigued by, but I'm not like super excited by. So, Serpent in the Wings of Night, 100% absolutely yes. Love this one. Such a good fantasy romance. Book 2 comes out this month. I'm dying. Phantom by Greer Rivers, I'm putting as interested. I've seen a lot of friends read this book. It's a fan of the opera retelling, but I haven't seen a lot of friends absolutely love this book. So I'm hesitant. I saw the author at Denver, but I didn't buy the book because I don't know if I'll like it. So it's gonna go under interested. June 1st. I still have not read this book. I started it when it released, like literally when it released last year, and never finished. So it's at the top of my TBR. I highly plan on finishing it. It's been in my Kindle Unlimited library since I took it out last year. I don't plan on returning it until I'm done with it. The Love of My Next Life, I'm interested in. I feel like I have not seen enough to make me like die to pick this up, and I'm nervous because I feel like Britt Benson's an author that I don't know I'll love. So I don't know. I feel like I got one by her in a book box too, but I haven't just been like super pulled to the plots of her books, so I don't know. I've seen a couple of friends read this and they've enjoyed it, but haven't absolutely loved it. So that's why this is going under interested. Until You by Katerina Mora is a solid read. This is a brother's best friend romance. I think this was my first by her. The audiobook was on my Hoopla, so I read it. I liked it. It was good. Mile High, absolutely yes. I love this book so much. It's so good. Oh my gosh. Liz Tomford, Mile High and The Right Move were the most submitted other than Elsie Silver when I asked for your favorite reads of 2023 so far. So Mile High, I loved it. I loved it so much. Help Me Remember by Corinne Michaels is an amnesia romance. It is 100% at the top of my TBR. I have been meaning to read this 4 months now because I also bought this at a Polycon and I've been dying to read it. So yes, I'm going to read that one. We Know Catherine Cowles is going up here. Love her. Second Chance. Romantic suspense. Absolutely yes. We Know Heartless is, you know, I'm just gonna put them all. I am just, oh, no one said the first one. Okay, I think everyone's read Flawless already, so that's why it's not here. Heartless and Powerless, 100%. Heartless, such a good nanny, grumpy single dad romance. Powerless, I loved. It's a friends to lovers romance with a hockey player. I was obsessed. The audiobook is also amazing, so those, absolutely yes. Requiem's at the top of my TBR because Tori from Novel Life loves it, and it was spoiled for me what the trope is in the book. Tori never told it to me, and she did say it was a spoiler when someone told it to me, but it does have a trope I love. So I'm not going to tell you because I'm not going to spoil it, but really, really excited. What Was Meant to Be by Kiwi Tyler? Absolutely yes. This book is everything. It is a dad's best friend romance and a godfather romance, right? He's a godfather? Yes. And a second chance. Kiwi Tyler is my queen. I love it. Because of Us, I am interested. I don't even know the plot of this. I think it said it was her twin brother's best friend romance. I've never heard of this book before, but now I'm intrigued. I am intrigued. It's not at the top of my TBR because it wasn't on my TBR before, but I'm intrigued. So this one is the How to Marry a Marble Marquis. Sam Niscosta, I think Sam Niscosta's fine. I wouldn't necessarily say like no thank you, but I am not in any hurry to pick this book up. I don't know what it's about. Is it like a historical fantasy? Paranormal? That's not really a genre I read, so I read Morning Glory Milking Farm. I think that was that author, right? And it was fine, but I'm not rushing to read anything more by that author. Highest Bidder is going to go to the top of my TBR. We love Sarah Kate. We love a huge age gap, so definitely want to read it. In a Jam is also another one that I've heard amazing things about. I think it's small town. I forget what other trope it is, but literally everyone's been obsessed with Kate Canterbury lately, so yes, top of my TBR. The Choice, 100%, absolutely yes. Super, super angsty. She's in love with one guy, but falling in love with his best friend / like foster brother. It's so good. It is a kind of a prequel because it's a duet to the words, so it ends on a cliffhanger and she has still not released that book yet. There Are No Saints, solid read, such a good serial killer romance. Forever Your Rogue, is that what that says? These fonts are hard to read. I haven't heard of this author. I'm gonna put it under no thank you. Not that I'm not interested, but it's not at the top of my TBR. I don't know if I'll pick it up even if I am interested in it, so it's gonna go here. I do really like the colors of the cover though. An Optimist's Guide to Heartbreak, absolutely love that one. Well, I don't know. Did I give it 5? I think I gave this one 5 stars. I didn't love the second one, but the first one was really good. I really, really liked it. Hail Mary, I loved. This is my favorite of the series so far. It is Second Chance. They fell in love over like gaming online, and then he broke her heart in high school, and now it's a second chance, and she's a tattoo artist and he's a football player. So good. For the Fans, 100% is at the top of my TBR. This is a stepbrother fans only romance, so I have seen so many people love this one. Top of my TBR. Unraveling Him, loved this one. It's Grump Sunshine. It's my favorite by Claire Kingsley so far. So good, and Jason Clarke narrates the audiobook. Yes. Hawk, yes. Top of my TBR. I really, really need to read Hawk. This one I have heard really good things about. I think he's like released from jail and lives with her and her fiance or something. Black Ties and White Lies is another one that I'm really, really, really interested in. I've heard lots of mixed things though, so I'm a little nervous, but Kat Singleton, I met her in Denver and she was the sweetest, and I felt bad because I was like, I haven't read any of your books, I don't want to buy anything yet, and she's like, oh, well, thank you for downloading it on KU. I was like, oh, you're welcome, I'll see you in 2 weeks in Seattle. So my goal is to read this in the next 2 weeks because I'm going to Seattle and she's going to be there and I need to read this. Again, Daisy Hates is also on my TBR. This is book 4. I need to catch up, that's why I haven't read it yet, but love this angsty romance series so much. Get Thee Off My Lawn is actually one I'm really, really interested in. Daria Vernon, I have so many of her books. Well, I own one, but so many books are on my radar. I love her covers, and this one I've heard is really fun. I think April was talking about it and she loves it, so I'm excited. Before Us, Julie Ann, another author that I absolutely love, and yes, 100% I am interested in reading this one. I have heard though, like I think his wife is dying of cancer and he falls in love with someone else, so very emotional. The next one's also at the top of my TBR, The Right Move. This one is Fake Dating Basketball. It's Liv's Tom Ford. Literally the most submitted book when I asked this question, so 100% at the top of my TBR. Then we have The Wolf and the Wildflower by Stacey Reed. I am dying to read this. He grew up like, I think he spent the last like 10 years or something in the wilderness, and she grew up as a boy because her mom didn't want to tell her father that she didn't have a son. So sounds so good. The Third Baseman by Lulu Moore is a solid read. It's not an absolute favorite. I did give it 4.5 stars. I really, really, really like this. If you're into baseball romances, Second Chance, pick this up. New to me author, excited to read more from her. Next to You, Hannah Bonham Young, absolutely yes. Loved this book so much. It's Friends to Lovers. She buys a bus, he helps her fix it up. It's perfect. Redeeming 6 is going to be in top of my TBR. Joey and Aoife I'm obsessed with, and I've only read Binding 13, so I think I'm gonna love their book. Right Man, Wrong Man, Right Time. I don't remember the first of this title. This is gonna go under interested. My patrons convinced me to download the audio. So I have the audiobook. Tori loved this book. This might be a Megan Quinn I may really like. Like I said, I'm gonna do a Megan Quinn video. I'm picking 3 for that. They all recommended me their favorites. We'll see how it goes. But that is the tier ranking. I am very impressed. Most of them fall under absolutely yes or top of my TBR. Look at the top of my TBR. I gotta do a video reading these because there are so many good books that people are obsessed with that I'm very excited to read. This is a really solid list too. You guys have great taste. That's all I'll say. There are only like, what, 6 books where I didn't agree that they were great or I have no interest in reading them. Everything else is good. It's a solid read, or look at my absolutely yes pile. Like, those books kill it, and I'm so happy you guys are enjoying them. So let me know down below if you've read these and what your thoughts are on all the books people submitted. And that's all I have. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want more tier ranking videos, just let me know. As always, thank you so much for watching and have a good day.